I can actually, which is good. Whoops, I've lost my screen. Right, so what I wanted to start with was just to get it out the way and know I've done it, is I am doing session 3 of the online Serger Club. And I just want to talk about that for a few minutes. So, the online Serger Club, the idea of it is that once a month we all get together it's on Facebook and it's in a special group, so you have to purchase it. And we do a project. It's a 2-hour class. It sometimes runs over, but the idea is just to commit to using our Sergers once a month. And there's 6 classes, although I don't think there's one in November because of Thanksgiving. But there's 6 classes, and the idea is just to have fun with our machines, learn some new techniques. And this is the important bit. You actually get to make it too. Rather than just watching me demo, I want to see what you make using those techniques. And you don't have to sew the same time as me. You can watch it and then sew it later, another day perhaps. And you can stop and start the video so you could sew at your own pace. And the idea is just to get you to get that machine out, because I know what it's like. If you're slightly tentative about a machine, you think, oh, I'll do it on my sewing machine, but I don't want you to do that. I want you to once a month work on your Serger skills, because I give you all these demos and you sit and watch them and you go, oh, yeah, yeah, it's good you can do that. But what I want you to do is actually do it. So that's always my plan with the Serger Club, is just to get you working in it and going onto the machines. Now I'll be using the Triumph and the Applaud, um, but that doesn't mean you have to have those machines. Um, if you have a machine that doesn't have cover stitch, that's never a problem because we're at home, so we have sewing machines. So if there's something you can't do on your machine, perhaps it doesn't have cover stitch, then I'll show you what to do on your sewing machine. If you have the Applaud, then we can certainly top stitch using the Applaud. If we don't have the Applaud, then we can top stitch with our cover stitch, or we could use our sewing machine with decorative stitches. There are always options, and I give you those options. If you happen to have the L890, have I lost my mind? That is what it is, the Benina. Then I do have that machine, so I will probably post up something in the notes to give you your settings on that machine. They're the two these are the main machines I work from, but it doesn't matter which machine you have. If it's a baby lock, everything's pretty much the same as the Triumph, unless you're talking about the Celebrate or the I love it when I give myself these challenging moments of remembering all the names. Anyway, if you don't have it, then you have a book that will give you details. And if you have trouble, then you just message me in the group and I can help you. I do have those machines. I just can't demo on all the machines I have. And the majority of you do have the Triumph or the Ovation. And for those of you that just have a 4-thread serger, as I said, you'll be just fine. We'll use the same machine. So that covers the machines. And if you have the Applaud, then we'll use the Applaud. Thing is, I want you to use the machines that you have. If you don't have them, then we have options. So that is what machines we're doing. Projects. I have released the first project, and it is this diagonal. I hope you can see it because I can't see my camera today. So this is it. It'll come up here. Oh, good. I can see myself now holding it. Yeah, this is the first one we're going to do. And on this one, we'll be using the triple belt binder. Now, some of you don't have that. That's fine. We can use ribbon. As I said, it's all about the options that you have. So that's a nice bag, and that is the first project. And some people say to me, well, what are the other 5 projects? Well, the other 5 projects are a secret. Now, I do have them all done. I'm just undecided about 2 projects, whether I've actually got 7 projects done. So I have to decide which one I'm not going to do. But that's okay because I have a while to sort that out. So yes, that is that is the story on the Serger Club. It's 120 for 6 lessons. And you purchase it on my website, debcanhamstudio.com. And then you have to ask to join the Facebook group where the class takes place. And this class is based in Facebook, which is fine because if you're watching this, you probably have Facebook. But if you don't have Facebook, then it's not the class for you. I I'm going to leave that there because I have catered for those who don't do Facebook, who aren't going to be watching this video, to do more of my teachable classes. So that is that on that particular thing. Do I have any questions on it? I was so busy telling you all about it, I didn't. Susan says she can't see it. I hope you did get to see it. I hope it came up. I'll post a picture of it in the comments when I finish. So yes, that is the Serger Club, and that is the next thing going. It starts at the end of September. I've already put the supply list and everything into the group for those of you that are participating. I try to work mainly with scraps and small bits so that you don't have to, order stuff in. And I'm sure as sewers you probably have everything in the way of fabric. I mean, I don't know that many sewers that don't have a fabric collection. I don't know that many sewers that don't need to add to their fabric collection because I have. I've just ordered loads of fabric. So exciting. Haven't ordered any for a while. Anyway, so that is the I can see are clubs 1 and 2 still available? I want to catch up on them. Yes, Serger Club 1 and 2 are still available. You'll be working from the recordings, but that's fine. A lot of people always work from the recordings. Only a certain number of you come in live. So yes, they're still available. You can order them on the website. Jenny wrote way too much. I want to say that the price of the class is for all 6 lessons, 120 for all 6 lessons. So that's $20 a class, which is pretty good. It's 2 hour plus class, plus all the patterns you get and everything else. So that is the Serger Club. So let me tell you what I'm doing next. The next thing, yeah, somebody said the only thing they had to purchase in Serger Club 2 was the vinyl. Yes, yes, I agree. And that's a pain. So hopefully you've got some left because I think there's one project in here that has vinyl too. Only a small amount. Oh, Janae, sorry, not the price, the material. Okay, so let me go on to, but I'm still glad I cleared that up because some people think it's the 120th class and it's not. It's not. So I want to go on to my jacket, which I just want to rearrange. So I made this jacket. I had a lot of fun in the summer. I kind of took me a while to find a direction, but then I got into it. So I made this jacket and it's kind of improv quilting, which means, well, I don't know what it means really. I just did it as I went. It's like building Lego. I just built blocks and stuck them on there. So this is the front, and you can see my typical improv star is in the very front section, small on the 2 fronts. And then I use these blocks, and I really, really, really love these blocks because they have black slashes going through them. And I think it makes the jacket so interesting. It just takes the eye and it directs you all around the jacket. And after I'd gone to all the trouble of sewing in these thin bits of black, I thought to myself, well, I could have used ribbon. I could have used ribbon. But anyway, I didn't, and I probably won't. But for somebody that doesn't like fiddly, that's an option. And then the back's different, of course. So the back is again that big star, which I did in Serger Club 1. I did this exact star, and I did it in this, and I use the applaud to do my stitching. Now if you don't have the applaud, then you can't use that stitching. You could use your sewing machine decorative stitch, or you could just leave it. because I have the machine, I want to take advantage of it. So I used 8-weight cottons, and then these circles, don't faint, they were hand sewn on. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. You see the fun I had with the sleeves? So I really enjoyed doing that, and I used a pattern called the Yannicka jacket. Gosh, I am sharp today. That came quickly. The Yannicka jacket by Liesl Patterns, and I just love it because unlike many patterns, it has cup sizes, B, C, and D cup sizes, which makes a huge difference to me. It means I don't have to do a bust adjustment, and it's not a terribly fitting jacket. It's not tight, so it's it's pretty easy. And anyway, the long and the short of all this is that so many of you liked it that I thought I'd do a class on it on my Teachable platform. Why did I choose my Teachable platform? Because it's much more organized. It's the Teachable platform is probably my favorite way of doing a class because you have written notes and short videos, and it just makes it super simple, organized, efficient. It makes me look efficient sometimes. And it's just my favorite way of doing a project that's a bit more involved than some others. So I'm going to do it on there. And I wasn't going to do it for a while because I had two other classes planned. And then they asked me to do a presentation, and nobody laughed, but for a quilt festival event, whatever. And as you know, I always joke that I'm not really a quilter, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But anyway, I think quilting and clothing is becoming really, really popular and it's super fun. I mean, a whole quilt and I get bored after the seventh block. But something like this, it's like doing a jigsaw. You just keep building it. So it kind of passes more quickly. And I enjoy it more than I enjoy necessarily doing a flat quilt. Anyway, so because I'm doing this quilt thing, I thought I'd release this class first. So I'm actually working on it at the moment, and I have just made the 12. So what we do is we make it in paper first, and then when we know it's going to fit, we go into making it using fabric. But I did put a post up the other day and I said these were the colors that I was choosing, although I'm using one more color this time round than I did on this violet and red and orange colored one. So lots of people wrote up which color I should drop, and lots of people had lots of ideas on it. And I want to say that you were all right. Color is such a personal thing. All that ever matters with color is that you like it. So the fact that I like these colors is just fine. That's where I'm going to go with it. So I'm using those colors. My fabric is arriving tomorrow. More fabric. I'm getting really good at buying fabric. So yes, I'm excited about that. It won't release till the end of September. That will be in time for this class, this presentation thing I'm doing. So yeah, so that's that class. And then after I've done that one, I'm going to go on to my Tunic Bible class. Now, I've been saying for a year or more, I'm going to do the Tunic Bible class. And you can see I'm doing a lot of garments. I I haven't done any garments in Serger Club 3. Okay, there's no garments in it at all. But I am doing garments because they're a lot of fun. And I as I get older, somehow or another, I get a bit bigger. I haven't worked out why. And so for a while, I didn't feel too comfy in dresses and things. And if I went and tried them on in the shops, I hated them. And the reason is that when I go to the shops, I'm a D cup, so I have to get clothes that are bigger than I need to fit me. I have to go up in size to get the bust size. So every time I try something on, I hated myself in a dress more. And this summer I thought, gosh, I so miss wearing dresses. So I made myself a couple of dresses. Now, I'm not making tight princess line dresses like I did these. And even then I thought I was big, so it's funny how it goes, isn't it? But I'm making looser ones. Now, I made one that I did put a picture up in my group, and it's all African print. It's just super fun. And I also made another one that I actually haven't shown you, but I will show you in time. That is a drop waist one. And what I like about making them is I can make my small size neck, because I'm only a small neck. I've got very small shoulders and neck. And then I need to, to add a bust dart for my bust. And then my hips are quite small. It's between my bust and my hips that I have a problem. So I have to hide that somehow. But I found drop waist dresses are quite good. So that's what I've been working on. But then to go on to another thing. So I said I'm going to do the Tunic Bible class, and I have taken my time to get to it. But I have made myself a dress using the Tunic Bible, and it's perfect. It's just a plain dress. It's just what I want for living in Florida. I'd rather wear a dress than shorts. It's just more comfy in the heat. So this is the Tunic Bible. I, I would say you don't have to have it, but I think it would be crazy to do the class without it. It's basically a great book that was written some time ago. It's been very popular, and it tells you how to make a tunic. But all what I like about it is the fact that what we'll do is we will make a toile out of paper and we'll fit the tunic. So once you've got this perfect fit, you can make tunic tops, you can make dresses, you can make long dresses, you can make knit dresses, you can make necklines with ruffly collars. Remember that orange one I had a few years ago? And that was the first one I made from the Tunic Bible. And shorter ruffles and outside decoration, and so it goes. It's basically a great wardrobe piece because you can change it and make it look different. So once you've got your perfect pattern, you're off to go. So that said, this won't be out until October, end of October, I should think. This said, so I discovered that I really, with Joanne's clothing and things like that, buying garment fabric is a little bit challenging, but I use Mood. Okay, Mood is in New York, it's in Miami, it's in LA, I think. But I discovered that for me, living in Florida, I really like the weight of their Spanish linen, the linen made in Spain. That is Spanish linen, I guess. Anyway, I liked it so much that I have stuck with that same fabric for several of my dresses. So this was on the sales section, and it's just the same as all the others I've got, but it was a sale. And of course, when it comes to buying fabric, you are going to buy in colors that suit you. Everything I buy is based on my colors. So I suit greens and yellows. So that was a perfect buy. And even if the dress comes out rubbish, I will still look as good as I can look because it is my colors. Okay. And then I found one that none of this is cheap. Fabric isn't cheap these days, but I get a dress for it. So that one, this one I'm going to make a dress. This is my favorite. Don't you love it? I love abstract, geometric, crazy designs, really. But I think that's superb. And I will definitely make a dress out of this because I love the fabric so much and I can wear a dress in it. So I just put it up to my face so you can see it against me. It's actually probably not the best in the colors, but it has at least got a coral color in it, and that's definitely my color. So my next choice is a bit strange for me, but I just kind of liked it. I just thought it was really, really different. It's not necessarily totally in my colors, but I think I'll get away with it. And I'm undecided as to whether I'm going to make a tunic or a dress in this. I like making dresses because I like one piece outfits. But aren't they glorious flowers and things? The best of colors on me. I can get away with it. but it's not as good as the previous two. And then for my tunic one, and it has to be the tunic one, and I'll explain why. And I think this was in the reduced because nobody else wanted it. So this is it. It is bottles. Isn't that fun? But I can't wear bottles like that. It would have to be going that way because that's more slimming. And then I have a nice piece of black to do some decorative collar sections on it. But I just thought it would be fun for a tunic. Just fun. So yeah, that is my tunic collection. Actually, there's one more, but I didn't want to admit that I bought so many fabrics. It's white with pink flowers on, which is unusual for me because I'm not much of a floral person. Just going to wrap that up. So that is the Tunic Bible. And you're probably thinking, how's she going to get all this done? Well, I've decided I'm not going to go out on the road. That doesn't mean I won't ever do store events if I can drive to them or I'm going past them. But I'm fed up with travel. I'm so fed up with getting on airplanes. It's untrue. Remember, I used to work in China, so I spent my whole life traveling, and I've just reached the point where I want to stay home. You know. So the next thing I'm going to do after that, because I've been promising to do it, now I'm not traveling, I'm concentrating on getting these classes I promised done, is, and this is fun, I bought this from Amanda's Bundles in California. Now, I get a lot of my knits from Amanda's Bundles because she writes good descriptions about what they do and she has a great choice. And you can see this is very abstract and I forget exactly what it is, but it has a fluffy back. So I don't know, can't remember what it was, but it has every color in there. So one of those colors is going to go with me. So you can say, isn't it? Um, but we are using a sweatshirt pattern from her site, and we'll be doing, and it's going to have a zipper down the front as per requested by everyone. So those are the classes I have lined up. Oh, somebody said, is Spanish linen as wrinkly as regular linen? Yeah, I know what you're saying because it can be very wrinkly. And that was actually a reason why I haven't used it for a while. Whoops. But no, I don't think this one is anywhere near as wrinkly as your regular linen. And it's not really heavy, but it's not so light that you have to put a lining in it. But no, it's not wrinkly like some linens. And I agree with you. Some people love that wrinkly look. I don't. And I certainly don't like ironing. And I have actually made this fabric in that drop waist dress and I've washed it and I probably will iron it, but it doesn't look as if it needs an iron. So that's kind of good. What was the name of the bundle source? Amanda's Bundles. On the studio, it says Serger Club Session 3 is 125. It is 125, sorry. Yeah, they put up my processing, so I had to move it onto you as well. So it's 125. Okay, so just looking at the so what did I do in the summer? Well, I got very lost without you all. I got up some days and I just couldn't decide what to do, so I did nothing. I got nowhere and I couldn't stand it. So I originally I thought what I'd do is I'd do some drawing and painting. I didn't do any. But I did do a class with Sophie Standing, who does some really amazing work. Her name is Sophie Standing, and she's English, I believe. And she does all this thread painting with animals, and she uses a lot of K facet fabric. And I paid to do a class with her, and there was lots of other people doing it as well. And we did an owl, and I didn't want to use K facet because I use it all the time, and I wanted it to be a step into a different direction. So I did it using I can't remember the name of it, using a different fabric. And it was pretty cool. So here I'm going to show it to you. It is an owl. Let me get back a bit because you probably can't see it all. So I just have to wait and see if I'm showing it all. Yeah. So isn't that cool? And what it is appliqued and then it is thread painted. So so let me show you the back because you'll see how much work goes into the thread painting. So I really enjoyed it, but to be honest with you, I wasn't planning. I'm not too good with projects that take lots and lots of hours. I kind of get bored with them. Not that I ever got bored with this, but I was kind of glad when I finished it. But I actually like my tree log, which was really worrying me, but I got it done. But that was super fun. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I want to do one of my dogs one day, but I'll get to it. But it is quite a lot of time. It takes quite a lot of time to do all that free motion stitching. But I've got to tell you, I love free motion stitching, and I've got so much better at it, and I feel more confident with it. And it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I did it. So what else was I going to do this summer? I was going to do this chicken quilt. It doesn't look very exciting in this pattern picture, but I'm sure you've seen it on Facebook. It's hilarious. I thought that would look really cool in my house somewhere, but I haven't done it, and I probably won't do it. Not in the near future because I've got all these classes to do. But the other thing is as I said to you, I'm heading off to Baby Lock Tech this weekend. Looking forward to seeing all the wonderful girls that work there. Yeah, the educators there are so nice. I I'm actually not an educator. It's I was an educator, but now I'm what's called an event partner, which is much the same but a bit different. So I know, and Annette says, "What do people do without hobbies?" Well, when I wasn't doing all my stuff and taking a break, I kind of lost direction. I got less done than I do when I'm forced to do work type stuff. It's hard to be, I forget the word. It's hard to make yourself do it. Somebody said, "Can newbies do your Serger class?" I've done a couple of classes for beginners and thought of taking your new Serger class. Um, you certainly can. Serger Club One was really designed for those of you that had never done anything on your Serger. So it may be you want to have to do that, or you can step straight in here. I mean, I always say to people when they're in class and stuff, you're just doing it one step at a time. So even if you've not used your machine a lot or something like that, it's not that difficult. You, when you're told what to do and what stitch to have and how to do it, to just do one step at a time. So I certainly think beginners can do the class. I certainly think those of you that have done loads of classes, then what I expect of you is to see you do your own thing. Maybe do it slightly differently to me. Just just jump outside the box a bit sometimes. So, I hope the classes are for everyone, but there's certainly the idea of them was for those of you that have your machine in a box to get it out and to play. Yep, it worked fine, great on the Ovation. The Ovation is pretty identical to the Triumph. In fact, all the machines are pretty identical to the Triumph. All the Baby Lock machines operate in the same way. Um, so yeah, Baby Lock Tech this weekend. They've all the machines and stuff. I haven't checked them all out, but I do know there's a smaller 8-thread serger, the same size as the Evolutions, come out a new one. I don't know the new features of it. I'll get to see that this weekend. And as I said, this new very useful foot called the I think it's called compensation foot, and basically it's a hinged foot. So if you're sewing something like a neckband where you've got all that thickness of fabric and then the t-shirt, it it can sit on the neckband at that height and the t-shirt at that height, and you'll get a better stitch round areas like that. So yes. So do I have any other questions? So somebody's got the pattern and they need to know how to get to class. Listen, if you've joined any of my groups to do a class, then you will find, if you go into your own groups on your Facebook page and you look through all the groups you're in, if you've already done one of my classes, that group will still be up in your groups page, and that is the easiest way to find it. What was the pattern for my dress? For this dress, I can't remember. Um, I won't make this dress again, so I threw the pattern out. And the reason, you might want to know the reason, because and I could easily make it, but this is very similar to the tunic Bible dress. So look, it doesn't have any facings on the zipper area, whereas the tunic Bible dress does, and I can get the same look with the tunic Bible. Okay, so I didn't think it was the best pattern. So I'm going to use my tunic Bible. Is your Baby Lock class in St. Louis? Yes, Baby Lock Tech is in St. Louis again this year. I think it always is. They don't move around. Can we see the inside of your jacket? Mary, the inside of my jacket, it has facings, right? Hopefully you can see that. But the very inside is white. It's not lined. And that's one of the things I loved about it, because I live in Florida and I don't want a lined jacket. And the pattern doesn't come for a lined jacket. And the reason it's white is because I use a special fabric fused onto the cotton to give the cotton more weight. So, it's not its best feature, but at the same time, it has facings on the hem and round here, and certainly up here where you'd be more likely to see the lining. So, there you go. That's the inside. I'm so excited my fabric's going tomorrow. I can start my other one. I've actually already started the other one, and I've done my videos and put them up, and basically the first part of the class is all about making your paper toile so that you know it fits. You do not want to go to all that work and find that it doesn't fit. So that's the first thing we do in the class. And it's going to be the same in the Tunic Bible. You are going to make a toile because it's much easier to make it in paper and get it right than it is to sew it in expensive fabric and find it was wrong. Is there going to be classes especially for the applaud? There already are classes for the applaud. It's called the applaud class, and you will find it on my website. It's actually a Facebook group, and there's 5 classes. Sorry. And we make all sorts of things. This is one of the bags we make in that class. This is one of the bags we make in the applaud class. And then we make a purse, a zipper bag, and we do a t-shirt, and we upscale a jean jacket, and I've forgotten what the fifth thing is. But yeah, there's already an applaud class, and you'll be working from the recordings, but there's nothing wrong with working from recordings. Um, you just stop the video, catch up to where you want to be, and then you know um, do the class like that, and all the written stuff is in the files. What kind of paper do you? Well, I believe it's Pellon 830, and I forget what they call it exactly. Exactly, it's kind of like a cotton paper. So it's very strong. So I like it because I trace my patterns onto it. It's see-through, and then I cut them out, and then I sew them. And then what I do is I undo them all again and cut my fabric. I have a knit dress that I bought for my granddaughter where I washed it, the hem rolled up. Do you think a fusible hem tape would keep it from rolling up? It might well do because it'll add a bit of weight. You know, I always say when you're going to do a knit hem, it's really worth having a bit of a hem, you know, at least an inch, at least an inch. If you just do a very narrow hem, it always turns. But if you put a bit of weight, a bit of weight in any hem is a good thing, be it woven or knit. But I think the tape might help you and perhaps make a bigger hem. Patnies, thank you, Carla. Yes, it's called Patnies. Pelon 830 Patnies. And I get mine from Warwack. You can get it from your local quilt store if they have it. Right, so I think that's it for this week. As I said, I'll be traveling back from Babylock next week, and then I'll be back the following Monday. And the other thing I thought I'd do more with the lives is I'm quite happy to do a live on the Serger one week and then move on and do one something to do with sewing. I just feel I've done so many lives on the Serger. I'd like to incorporate sewing as well. And it could be anything. I have a machine. I can't remember the name of it, wouldn't you know? And it actually takes a lot of the Serger feet. It's a sewing machine. So you know, things like that, things that maybe you don't know that may be of interest, um, and things like that. 2 weeks from now is Labor Day. Is it? I got that wrong, didn't I? Huh. Well, that probably won't work then. So what I'll do is I will probably put it on another day. Please share fabric info for the new jacket, info on the brand and colors and amount. I will, Nancy, but I want to warn you that I chose seriously expensive fabric. I chose cherry wood hand dyed cottons, and they're hugely expensive. Um, what I liked about them is the fact they're hand dyed and have all these wonderful colors, but also it has a sort of suede look to it. But you don't have to use those fabrics. I mean, it does make it very, very expensive. I forget how much it is a yard, but it's probably twice the price of what you'd normally pay. So you just need to look at that and maybe choose the same colors in a more affordable cotton, perhaps. Is the applaud class good for people with the ovation? No, the applaud class is no good if you don't have the applaud machine. So yeah, great. It was great to see you all. Thanks for coming back to see me, and I do appreciate you all being there. So I will post up when I'm going to come live again because obviously if it's Labor Day that isn't going to work. I might choose the Tuesday or something. Um, so yes, I will write it up in the group and on here. But I hope you all have a fabulous 2 weeks, and I'll report back everything I learned from Baby Lock Tech. And I will see you soon. As I say, thanks so much for coming in to see me.